Interest. To find interest, there's a formula. Interest I is equal to P R T. Principal, rate, time. Principal, rate, and time. Okay? Principal, that's the money. How much money did you borrow? Did you borrow $500? Did you borrow $1,000? How much money did you borrow? The rate is the percent. Now, credit cards, they can go to 20-25%. A car loan might be 4 or 5%. A house might be 2 or 3%. T is for time, in years. Okay? That gives you your interest. Okay? So, how much money did you borrow? What percent am I letting you borrow it? And how many years does it take you to pay back the loan? Okay? Now, this is if you don't make any payments. Okay? There's, in high school, you'll have a different formula for interest. It's a little bit more complicated, but it takes into account when you make payments. This is when you don't make any payments. Okay, so let's say I borrow $25,000 to buy my super cool car. Yeah. For Mr. James Sullivan. All right. Okay. The interest rate is 3%. How much interest will I pay in 5 years if I don't make any payments? Which is not a true story because you have to make payments, but for the sake of this example, we're going to say we don't make any payments. If you don't make any payments, I'll take it back. Okay, so interest equals PRT. Okay, so what's the principal? How much did I borrow? $25,000 times. What's the rate? 3%. What's the time? 5 years. So I have to multiply all of this, right? Well, right now I can't multiply it as is, right? So I have to convert a couple of numbers. So 3% is 0.03 times 5 years is just a 5 times 25,000. Okay. Does it matter which two numbers I multiply first? No. The commutative property says you can multiply any of these numbers together first. So it's up to you what you want to multiply together first. Which two numbers do you want to multiply together?
25,000 times 5.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Hey, whatever you want to do. At the end, are we both going to get the same answer? Yeah. So no matter which two numbers you multiply, then you got to multiply the third number. At the end, you'll get the same answer. So pick two of these numbers and multiply it. Like now. Like right now. So how much interest? 3,750. Did it matter which two numbers I multiplied? No. I multiplied 0.03 times 5 and got 15. If you multiplied 25,000 times 5 and got 125,000, then multiplied by 0.3, we still get the same answer, right? As long as we're, of course, multiplying correctly. Now, is this my answer? What's my question?
5
Is this how much interest I'm going to pay in 5 years? Yeah. So did I answer my question?
Yes.
Yes. What's another question they can ask you?
What's the total?
So what's the total cost? How much did you spend altogether? Well, I had to pay back $25,000, right? And then I had to pay back interest. So how much do I pay back in total? Question mark, question mark, question mark. So how much do you pay back in total? What would you do? Add. What did you add?
25,000 plus 3,000.
So add the 25,000 plus the 3,750. Add those two numbers up. Everybody can add these two numbers up. And we get 05782, 28,750. So for a car that originally cost me $25,000, after 5 years, I really end up paying $28,750, depending on interest. Okay? Same thing for a house. Credit card bills, outrageous if you don't pay them off at the end of the month. Alright, let's do another problem. Let's do a positive one. Let's say I have a savings account. I have, let's say, $1,600 in my savings account that earns, let's say, 4% interest. How much money will I have after 18 years? Let's say when you were born, your parents or grandparents started a savings account, and they just put $1,600 in your bank account when you were born. And they got a great interest rate of 4%, and they said you can't withdraw or touch the money until you turn 18. Okay? So it's this money they put in the bank when you were born, and you can't touch it until you turn 18. So 18 years. Well, let's talk about how much money you earn if you don't touch it. So interest is equal to PRT. Okay, the P stands for principal, which means the money. So 1,600. What's the rate? 4%. What's the time? 18 years. Alright, so 1,600 times 0.04 times 18. Okay, 100% up to you what you want to multiply first. Which two numbers you want to multiply first. No matter what, we'll get there together. So interest is 1,152. Yes?
Yeah.
Does that answer my question? No. What is my question?
How much would you have?
How much money will I have after 18 years? Is this how much I'm going to have after 18 years?
No.
No. This is just the interest. So what's your, second step?
Add.
Add, right? So, my second step in quotations, because you already did a lot of steps, is to add your principal, which is $1,600. Remember, you're not allowed to touch it. It stays in there. Then you're going to add your interest. What's our grand total? So, in 18 years, you're gonna have 2,052. John, give me 1 second. You almost doubled your money, right? The bank gave you an extra 1,152 just for leaving your money there. It's like, it's free money. It's the only free money out there. John?
Can the interest, can the percent be, can it go to 100?